It has become quite difficult to drive traffic to your YouTube channel in 2021, especially if your channel is just starting out. After you work so hard to create videos, figuring out how to boost your YouTube views and get more visibility on YouTube is tough, especially if you rely on the YouTube platform alone. And other social media platforms aren't much better for promoting videos because, like YouTube, social media content is served to viewers based on all sorts of factors outside of simple search terms. So let's get back to internet basics and talk simply about ranking for search terms in Google and exactly how to use a website to drive traffic to your YouTube channel and boost video views. Hello my friends, and welcome to the 4th episode in my series all about how to create a website and why every YouTube channel should have one. This video is sponsored by Wix, which is the fantastic and intuitive website builder that I've been using to rebrand my channel with a fresh new website, add a blog to it with the sole purpose of further promoting my videos. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to use Wix to optimize a blog so that it will continuously drive traffic directly to your YouTube channel and boost your video views. So first, let me recap exactly how a blog can drive traffic to your channel and boost your video views. So websites and vlogs exist completely outside of YouTube. So each blog post you put together is a whole different piece of content out there on the internet with a fresh opportunity to be found in search. One of the most guaranteed ways to drive traffic to your YouTube channel is by consistently creating optimized blog posts that point viewers directly to the very video that you've just published on YouTube. And if that sounds like a lot of extra work on top of actually making the video, then think about it this way. If you've already wrote an outline or script for the video that you just filmed, and you wrote a solid video description, you've probably created a thumbnail and put together some tags for the video that you're going to post on YouTube, then your blogging work is 90% done. The trick is to repurpose all of that into a blog post, and of course any details you can add onto the blog post is only going to help. I even take screenshots from my videos and put those into the blog post just to turn that video content into a more of a readable format. This fresh piece of content is going to present the internet with a new way for your viewers to become interested and your videos and YouTube channel to be discovered. Now, if you're in the early stages of this and need to circle back and learn how to build a website or how to add a blog to that website, then definitely watch the first 2 videos in this series because I walk you through the entire process. And if you are ready to jump in Wix with me today, then grab the link in the video description, and even if you don't have a website yet, you can still set up a quick framework and follow along to see exactly what Wix has to offer as far as search engine optimization or SEO tools, and you can see exactly what I'm going to do to optimize my blog to bring viewers back to my videos. Okay, so jumping into Wix, following that link, we'll just say start now. Log in, of course, create an account if you don't already have one. And just to quickly show you how to set up a site if you don't have one, we're gonna say create new site. Wix asks what kind of website this should be just to help you optimize it. I'm just gonna say blog. And I like to use the Wix editor, which is fantastic. So I'll say edit a template. They give you tons of templates to choose from, so many different creative starting points, but everything is highly customizable. So you can just kind of pick one that speaks to you and select edit. This brings us into the Wix website editor, and like I said, if you need some help in just getting started and setting up your website or blog, circle back to those earlier videos. So now you have your new site, but I will just close that out, close out the templates, and go back to the Wix dashboard because this is where all of your sites would be listed if you had multiple sites. If you did save that new site you just created, it will appear here, and I'm going to go into the creator site that I have been working on as a new site to represent my YouTube channel. I have built it, I have added the blog, but I've not done any search engine optimization on the website, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you Wix's fabulous marketing tools. So if we go over to the left on the dashboard, we can go to Marketing and SEO, and we're going to start with Get Found on Google. Wix says it's essential, and we're gonna go for it. Now, Wix really just demystifies SEO, and if you've ever tried to study SEO, you'll understand it as lots of little tricks and things you need to input into your site code and metadata, and it should all be intertwined in this intricate way. It's a good bit to wrap your head around, but what's so great about the tools that Wix offers is that you don't even need to understand SEO because Wix is going to tell you exactly what you need to do and what Google needs to know from you in order to rank your site in search. Now, I've actually got to circle back to another site to show you this process because once you go through those initial steps, Wix doesn't ask you to do it again. So this is the site that I set up in the first video about a video production business. And again, just go to Get Found on Google. Okay, start now. What's your business or site name? So that one is AMaeTV. How would you describe your business? Add up to 3 keyword phrases that clearly describe your business or the services you offer, and you can change these anytime. So this is actually really important and requires some thought. These are the 3 keywords or longer tail keywords, which is a good idea, that would represent like what you think your ideal customer would be typing into Google that would lead them to find your content. And the trick here is to not choose search terms that are too broad, especially if you're just starting out. For example, the site that I just went through this process on, Alicia which is like AMaeTV, represents my YouTube channel. I chose how to vlog, vlogging cameras, and I think Canon M50 for video or something like that. Because if I were to choose how to use a camera or Canon cameras, those search terms are way too broad. Like other blogs are going to outrank me for those search terms. So my channel is niched down to an appropriate degree so I can directly speak to the people who are trying to learn exactly what I am teaching. I know a lot of you have the Canon M50 and you're vlogging with it, and that's all kind of by design because I'm always trying to speak to those specific people, not just all Canon camera users. That would be a little bit too broad for me. There's really a science that goes into this, like finding the right keywords, and there's lots of different keyword research tools that you can use on the internet. Google AdWords has a keyword research tool that pretty much tells you how much traffic a keyword has. And you don't want a keyword that has tons and tons of traffic, but you also don't want keywords that don't have any traffic. So you gotta kind of find your sweet spot there. But if you set up an account with Google AdWords, that would be where you're running ads on Google. You don't have to run the ads. You can just use the Google AdWords keyword research tool. So let's just pretend that this is for the site for my YouTube channel. I'm gonna write how to vlog, vlogging cameras, and Canon M50 for video. And once you select Create SEO Plan, Wix establishes this SEO setup checklist for you. And from there, you're just gonna go through step by step and do all of the things. And that's where I was at with the AMaeTV site. So I'll just pop back over to there. Okay, and the keywords are right here, and you can edit those with the edit, but I did want to show you just the actual process of setting it up. And here we go, starting at the top. Set the home page's title for search results. If you do want to educate yourself a little bit about SEO and why you're doing these things, you can read what Wix has to say about it, and there's also a little video. But if you don't, it just tells you exactly, and I mean exactly, how to do it. So it's pairing my name, which is the name of the site, with 3 options for my keywords. So I can choose that as a title for my site. So when both of those words are together, it's gonna be a little bit more powerful. So I'll just choose how to vlog, Alicia, copy, and then it tells you exactly where to go into your Wix editor and paste that title. And it even has this little animation in case you can't figure it out for some reason, but basically you just go to the editor. That does take a minute to open up if you haven't opened it up yet. And it even opens up the exact tab where you want to put it. So the Pages tab, SEO, and then it's wanting me to put it right here. So yeah, instead of the word home, it's gonna have my name now. And that is going to be more powerful, I'm sure. We can hit save. And then when we pop back over to the dashboard and refresh it, we'll see that that first piece is now a green check mark. Okay, next up, add the homepage's description for search results. Go for it. All right, 2 to 3 sentences about what your site has to offer, and it tells you to include 1 keyword, keep your business name in there, and between 50 and 300 characters. And I'm already realizing through this that when you have a personal brand, which is something I kind of just moved into, I've never used my name previously for my channel or much else. It's always been AMaeTV, but I'm moving to Alicia, I think. I still haven't changed my YouTube channel name yet. But if I realize that that's why a lot of these descriptions and stuff are written in the 3rd person, rather than saying like, I am here offering you this. If you write Alicia is here creating videos about vlogging, then I get to use that keyword. My name is that keyword versus I, which means nothing. It's really hard writing descriptions. Okay, I'm gonna show you a little trick I just came up with to make this site description happen. So I am writing my name. I'm writing all 3 keywords. And what I'm gonna do is just add like an action verb. Okay, so sharing vlogging tips. I'm gonna change vlogging to vlogger, right, as a former travel vlogger. Helping others learn how to vlog, and then I'll just put it all together. As a former travel vlogger, Alicia is sharing vlogging tips and helping others learn how to vlog. I'll also go ahead and edit this to travel vlogger just so it really does match. Okay, so I went and changed this keyword to travel vlogger. And that's just like a really easy way to incorporate all 3 keywords into one sentence. Almost too easy, so I'm gonna expand upon it a little bit. Wix is going to prompt me to copy that. And again, it's gonna tell me exactly where to put it. And it just goes right there under the title. Again, we'll save it, and it's very fun to refresh it so you can see that little green check mark that you've just been awarded. And a lot of my other check marks have just kind of been naturally fulfilled because I think when I set up the site, I must have included some keywords in the page. That's one thing it'll prompt you to do. There's like a little toggle on. It just has you flick a switch so your homepage is visible in search results. The site is optimized for mobile devices because all of Wix's templates are already optimized for mobile devices. Connect your site to a custom domain. That is important to have an actual domain name rather than like wix.com/ whatever it would be. When you have your own custom domain, it's definitely more professional, more searchable, that kind of thing. Okay, and it's prompting me to publish the changes that I made. So I hit publish and connect now, and it actually wants you to connect through one of your Google accounts, which makes sense. So I'm gonna use Alicia AMaeTV. And I can't even tell you how special this is because when you build a website in a different way, not using Wix, you kind of have to like build the site, publish it, and then wait for Google to crawl. They say that Google has crawlers, spiders on the internet, and it will index your site eventually, like whenever it comes to it or something. So it's all very like, ooh, I don't know what's happening here, but this is a direct connection. So Wix sends the info immediately to Google. I guess they have some sort of relationship, and you can get your site indexed immediately. So let's see if that actually worked on Google. I'm gonna type in Alicia AMaeTV. And so we've got my LinkedIn of all like unimportant things, Instagram, that's fair, Facebook, and then Alicia AMaeTV. My website is showing up right here, right now. Okay, back to the checklist. That was the home page. Now we are optimizing the site pages. So that's each individual page. Add a short text describing the image. So if that hasn't been done, it would prompt you to do it. Contact details, I definitely did that. Connect social media networks to your homepage, I did that, and add links to your homepage. So without getting into every little granular detail, you can just see the flow of how Wix is prompting you to put in each piece of information that's missing. So you never have to question like, have I done everything that I can? It just tells you. So that's great. And then it looks like the AMaeTV on YouTube page, it wants me to set the page's title. So I'll just select that. I just love how it takes you straight to where you need to go. Okay, and then rather than creator site, pop that in. And then there's actually a description for each page. Hi, honey.
Hello.
Great, I guess I'm gonna take a break. Let me stop all 3 cameras, hold on. So that is the title for the AMaeTV on YouTube page, which is just one of the pages on the website. Now we'll move on to the description, and it's going to be more specific because it's a description for that particular page versus the entire website as a whole. Copy that and add it into the editor where Wix wants me to add it. I think it's a good idea too to get familiar with exactly what you're doing, just so I would be able to navigate back to this if I wanted to later. I'd have that knowledge after going through this process. So I'm on the main pages, and then instead of the home page, I'm down here on the AMaeTV on YouTube page, and then we're up here in the SEO settings tab. And that's where all this information is. Next up, it says add links to your AMaeTV on YouTube page. And pretty much it's just telling you the importance of like having links within your content that link to other pages on your site. So like all the pages on your site kind of like weave together and point back to each other. And it's also a good way to give readers like a path. If they're kind of not sure where to go next, you can be like, hey, now you can pop over and read about the gear or things like that. And it says that I should have a link to this page from another page on my site and a link on this page to another page on my site. So there's like the 2 little check boxes that I want to hit. And that's not something I would have naturally thought to do if I hadn't been prompted to do that. So I'm glad that they did prompt me. So I'm making sure to fulfill all of the little SEO requirements that I can for the best results. Okay, now speeding this up just a little bit because I'm not going to go through every single step with you. If I expand my tasks, I've got 28 more tasks. So it's going through each of the pages at the top of my website and pretty much taking me through the same process I just did with that page. Just lots of like adding links, adding text. You can also hire a Wix partner So that's something, if you just don't want to deal with your SEO at all, you could do that. And then the other SEO tools are available right here under SEO tools. And this is the more in-depth stuff. And it's also the stuff that a person might want to go into if they really knew what they were doing, or if you did hire someone who was a specialist in SEO to go in and view your XML sitemap index, and you could edit it that way. We've got site verification. So it's just some different things you can do with Bing, Pinterest. Pinterest is pretty important, especially for bloggers. And that's another thing, that's another reason that blogging is just a great way to expand your content from YouTube, because things like Pinterest, like I've tried putting my YouTube videos directly onto Pinterest, and there's a way you can do it, but those aren't the pins that are like, that everyone loves on Pinterest. Like people aren't looking there for like video links to YouTube. So if you have a blog post that it's kind of like a filter through, because the blog post is your own piece of content, and even though it links to your YouTube video and that's like the main purpose of it, it can be optimized to appear well on Pinterest. So you could do a vertical graphic in your blog post. So if I got to a point again where I was going to try to go gung-ho with Pinterest, this would give me like a guiding light. You know, I would kind of know what to do as far as like how to connect it and how to set it up, and otherwise it would just be, it would be confusing. We've got the URL redirect manager, which is very handy because I, for one, will be redirecting the AMaeTV blog over to AliciaMaeHerte.com. When I'm ready to do that, I would just set up new redirect, type in old URL, type in new URL, boom, done. And then if we come all the way down, we can find general SEO settings. And this is where you'll find that toggle on switch that I mentioned earlier. At one point in the checklist, it will prompt you to come here and just flick that over. Definitely important because it says it lets search engines index your site, which is the whole point of all of this. So that's got to be on. And then there's also the general social image. So it says, this is the default image that shows when your site is shared on social networks like Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter. So if you were to put up just your straight domain name into a social network, someone else shared it, or if you shared it, this would be the image that shows. And that's so much better than like, you know, the like social media platform just randomly pulling an image from your site. You want to have some control over that. So again, I'll just come here and choose the one of me hugging the lens. There we go. So yeah, I hope this gives you a really solid understanding of how powerful and how useful Wix's SEO tools are for making sure that you do everything you need to get your site found on Google, and that's really going to apply more granularly to your blog post, because your blog posts are going to be the individual pieces of content that have the keywords that you want to appear when your target audience is searching for them. And when people can find your blog posts, they can go through and watch your YouTube videos, and they're more likely to become subscribers of your channel. So it kind of just spreads you out all over the internet. And the SEO is like the foundation, it's like the fuel for what is going to make all of that happen. So it's very, very important. I love the SEO tools that Wix offers. I hope you guys definitely use the link to go into Wix, set up your own site if you haven't already, and just like get into these SEO tools. Let me know if you have any questions. Definitely catch up with the 3 other Wix videos. The first one was about building a website that I built for my video production company. The second one was about, it was a similar thing, but it was for my YouTube channel. So that's probably going to apply to more people. And then the third one was about blogging. So setting up a blog within that website to really start stretching your content out. And I appreciate you guys joining me for this Wix series. Again, let me know if you have any questions, leave a comment. If you've created a Wix website yourself, I would love to hear about it. I would love to see it. And I will see you guys in the very next video. Bye.